Jason Earnhardt at Levels for Guitar, introducing tablature reading exercise 2. And we'll be introducing the first E string in the first position, and that's the top line on the tab staff. We'll be working in 4/4 time signature. Your note values will include quarter notes. We'll be learning the eighth note and whole notes today, and our goal tempo for our exercises will be 80 beats per minute on the metronome. It's time to get to work, and these are your 9 points for breaking down a piece of music. And whether you're reading notation or tabs, this is a great way to become a better student of guitar. We're going to cover technique, we're going to cover rhythm, and believe it or not, you're going to get to know the note names on your guitar. Sure, you can learn tabs without knowing the note names, but I think it's kind of embarrassing that most guitar players do not know the notes on their guitar. And today we're only working with 5 notes, so we might as well start learning them. It's pretty easy to do if you take them in small chunks, as we're doing today. But these 9 points are going to give you a process of breaking down a piece of music so that you can focus on your weaknesses and strengthen those and become a better, not only student, but a better tab reader. And it all begins with point 1, and that's the first position on the tab staff. And you can see that highlighted in blue. On that top line, numbers 1, 2, 3, and 4 represent the first 4 frets on the little E string. Now in the previous lesson, you studied the open position on the first E string. So we'll be combining the open position with the first position to practice your first 5 notes in your tab reading. Point number 2, perform a whole technique in the first position. And that's what I'm doing right now. I have fingers 1, 2, 3, and 4 assigned over frets 1, 2, 3, and 4 over the little E string. This is going to help you to keep your eyes on the page. When you look at the tab staff and it says number 4 on the little E string, all you have to do is push number 4. You don't have to go hunting for it with your first finger. Think of this as your home row keys in typing. You don't want to use one finger to find all the notes. We can be more efficient by assigning one finger over each of those notes. And if you look at the top line of the tab staff, a 0 represents the open little E string. 1 represents the first fret on that little E string. 2 represents the second fret. 3 represents the third fret. And 4 represents the fourth fret on that little E string. Point number 3, picking technique. We need to have a plan when it comes to approaching tabs with the picking hand. And if you are a flamenco or a classical guitarist, your instructor has you alternating your index and middle fingers when playing free strokes or rest strokes. So go ahead and work on that development this early in your tab learning phase. And then if you're using a flat pick, you want to go ahead and work on those down and up strokes. Nothing wrong with all downs, but later on when you get into fast leads, you're going to wish you had that speed, and down and up is the way to go when playing fast guitar solos. Point 4, count the rhythm notation on the page. And you can put away your guitar, get out a pencil, and you're going to tap that pencil to counts 1, 2, 3, 4 to represent that top number in 4/4 time signature. And in the previous lesson, you learned how to count quarter notes in 4/4 time. And now we're going to be adding the 8th note in the mix. And this is an 8th note. It's a note head with a stem and a flag. This is what it looks like when it stands alone, and you rarely see it that way. Normally you see 2 8th notes beamed together like that. And one beam equals one flag. It's just easier for the eye to see these 2 beamed together rather than standing alone. But that's a half plus a half, which equals 1 count. So you can fit 2 8th notes inside of 1 quarter note. And you'll see that here in measure 3. Here's count 1, and then there's the and of 1. You say the syllable and to represent that second 8th note. There's count 2, count 3, the and of 3, and there's count 4. When you count this, it's going to sound like this. 1 and 2, 3 and 4. 1 and 2, 3 and 4. When you count this with the metronome, count 1 and the and of 1 will take the first click. Count 2 gets its own click. Count 3 and the and of 3 gets the next click, and then count 4 has its own click. You'll just have to listen as I go through it with you. All right, finally, we have this whole note here in measure 9. A whole note equals 4 counts. So when you get to measure 9, this will be the easiest notation you've ever played. You will play that first fret and then count to 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And hopefully it'll last that long. You can skip this repeat. Don't worry about the repeat. That's for later on. To demonstrate, I'm going to work with you at 60 beats per minute on the metronome. I've decided to slow it down so that we can articulate those counts clearly. This cursor represents the pencil. And if you want to print out this page by taking a picture, you can do that and tap your pencil to the counts like I'm doing here. But if you can't do that, then just tap your pencil to the desk. Okay, 60 beats per minute. If this is too fast, you can always slow me down on the media player. I'll give a 4 count, and we'll begin. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2, 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2, 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 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 1, 2, 3, 4. Point 5, say the note names on the page. And this section is for those of you who are looking to learn the notes on your guitar. And I was nice enough to provide the tab staff. This note is your open E string. The first fret is an F. The second fret is a G flat, but you can also call it an F sharp. That's an enharmonic spelling. The third fret is G. And the fourth fret is A flat, which can also be called a G sharp. So memorize those, and then all you need to do is look at a note and say it. Try not to memorize the exercise, and you can avoid that by picking a random note, like this one right here. What's the name of that note? And if you said G, you're correct. What is the name of this note right here? And if you said G flat, you're correct. So just keep doing that. What is this note here? What's the name of this note here? I'm going to pick them for you. Here. 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 What's the name of this note? And once you get good enough at doing this, then you can start working with the metronome. And that brings us to point number 6. You're going to say the note names on the page in rhythm. And you can put away your guitar, get out a pencil, and as you say the note names, you're going to tap that pencil to counts 1, 2, 3, 4 to represent that top number in 4/4 time signature. Now I've slowed the tempo down to 35 beats per minute. That's a crawling pace, but it's going to give you enough time to articulate those notes clearly, especially the G flat and the A flat, which take a little longer to say than the other notes. Okay, to demonstrate, I'm going to work with you at that tempo. If this is too fast, you can always slow me down on the media player. I will give a 4 count, and we'll begin. 1, 2, 3, 4. F, E, F. F, E, F. F, E, F, G, A flat, G, F. G flat, F, G flat, G flat, F, G flat. G flat, F, G flat, A flat, G flat, F, G flat. A flat, F, 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 G, F, F, F. A flat, F, G, F, E, F, G, F. G flat, F, F, F. A flat, F, F, F. A flat, F, G flat, F, E, F, G flat, F, F. Point 7. Say and play the tabs. And at first you can look at a note, say it, and then play it. And do so in a random way so that you're not memorizing the order of the notes. So for example, I'm looking at measure 4, the first note. That note is a G flat. And then in measure 5, I'm also looking at the first note. That note is an A flat. Measure 2, I'm looking at the last note. That note is an F. And so that's what you can do. Just look at a random note, say it, and then play it. That's going to help you get accustomed to the notes on the fretboard before playing the exercise. After that, you'll need to slow that metronome down to a crawling pace. And that's because we have G flats and A flats. It takes a little more time to pronounce those syllables. So at 35 beats per minute, I think you should have enough time. And that's what I'm going to demonstrate in this playthrough. So I've got it set for 35 beats per minute. If this is too fast, you can always slow me down on the media player. I'll give a 4 count, and we'll begin. 1, 2, 3, 4. F, E, F. F, E, F. F, E, F, G. A flat, G, F. G flat, F, G flat. G flat, F, G flat. G flat, F, G flat. A flat, G flat, F, G flat. A flat, F, F, F. G, F, F, F. A flat, F, G, F, E, F, G, F. G flat, F, F, F. A flat, F, F, F. A flat, F, G flat, F, E, F, G flat, F, F. Point number 8, count and play the tabs. So now your focus is on counting as you read through the tabs. I've slowed the metronome down to 60 beats per minute so that you have enough time to articulate those counts. And don't forget about those and syllables on those eighth notes. 1 and 2, 3 and 4. You'll be counting to 4 from start to finish. Never quit counting. You got to represent that top number in 4/4 time signature. Okay, to demonstrate, I'm going to work with you at 60 beats per minute. If this is too fast, you can always slow me down on the media player. I'll give a 4 count, and we'll begin. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2, 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2, 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 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 1, 2, 3, 4. Point 9, and that's a reminder to look ahead when reading tabs. Expert sight readers can see well ahead of what they're performing. And the idea is to scan the page and pre-rehearse the note before you get to that note so you can avoid mistakes. And one thing you can do to help this is by slowing things down. So go slow enough so that you have enough time to look ahead to the next note. The other thing you can do is take advantage of repeated notes like we have here. Instead of getting your eyes locked in on these ones, as you're playing these repeated ones, scan the page for change so you don't get surprised when you get to that 3rd fret. We have more repeated ones here, which are going to allow you to scan the page and take on that much more complicated measure 6. All right, well, you're already doing this when you read a book out loud. As you say one word, you're scanning the page for the next 2 or 3 words. So you're already doing this in your daily life. Okay, well, I'll try to give you more tips and tricks about looking ahead, but always remember this. This is an important one to help you not only with tab reading, but with sight reading for those of you who are looking to read music.